Hey y'all, I'm Stacy with the Craft Room Diaries. Today I'll be sharing my little craft island makeover and how these two old hotel desks went from blah to fabulous. So stick around for this super cheap, super functional, super easy, and super cool upcycle project. I picked up these two hotel desks from a furniture liquidator store for $30 each a few months back. They're in great shape and have electrical outlets and cubbies even for craft supplies, but the tops were super scratched with even some really deep gouges. So I figured it's time for them to get a makeover. After weighing out several options, I decided on vinyl plank flooring for the desktop. I started off by cleaning the desktop with Crud Cutter, which is what I use on all of my repurposed furniture. It gets off any residue or oils, wax, whatever, that might interfere with the adhesive. I found this super easy to install. Simply remove the peel and stick backing, stick it down onto the surface. I use just a Sharpie marker to mark the cuts, and the peel and stick flooring is cut with a razor or a carpet knife. I did use a square to make sure that my cuts were going to be nice and square, so that I could line it up with the piece that it was going next to. Also, this material is really easy to cut with a razor knife. And you really don't need to cut it all the way through. You're basically just scoring it, and then when you bend it, it pops and breaks a perfectly clean cut. I decided to use the vinyl flooring as my choice for my desktop for a couple of reasons. Number one, I had weighed out a few different options, and I really wanted something a little more durable than paint. Even with a sealer on it, I was concerned about being able to clean, because I do a lot of art and a lot of painting. I wanted to make sure that I could clean it easily. I also wanted to make sure that glue and any other types of adhesives could be cleaned off of it. So I found the vinyl flooring was going to be a good option here. The instructions on this peel and stick flooring recommended that it's a pressure sensitive adhesive, and it recommended a heavy pressure roller, which I couldn't find my big rolling pin at the moment. So I did use my handy Pampered Chef little mini roller and just applied a lot of pressure to make sure that adhesive was sticking. These are 4-inch planks, and my desktop is, of course, 25 inches. It would have been nice if it were 24, right? But the little 1-inch piece was probably the most challenging to cut long ways, but it worked out fine, made it happen. Now, I was planning on painting the edges the same color as the desk base, but this was working out so well that I decided to cut 1-inch strips to dress out the sides. I did end up using Gorilla Glue on these, as the adhesive wasn't holding quite as well as the top of the surface, but it's been almost a month since I completed this, and I've had nothing come unstuck. And I think carrying the vinyl over the sides makes it look so much more finished than if I had just painted it. So in prepping for the paint, I decided to try using a liquid sander and deglosser. I know most milk paints state, no sanding needed, but I've always gotten better adhesion and coverage when I've sanded. But I really didn't want all that sanding dust in my craft room, and I surely wasn't asking the hubby to carry these guys back downstairs for me to sand. But this liquid sander, it did not perform quite as I had expected, although I had no problems with the paint adhesion. I guess I thought it was gonna rough it up a little bit, and it didn't. But I think it did get all of the residue off of the surface. For the paint, I used lamp black milk paint to paint the base. After using chalk paint for many, many years and even making my own chalk paint, this milk paint is my new best friend. It's easy to work with, and it creates a beautiful, smooth finish with literally no brush marks. And I have not used any kind of top coat on any of the other pieces I've used it on. And thus far, they are holding up beautifully, even to all of my abuse in my craft room. And 2 coats of paint covered perfectly. I love the finished product of my Craft Island Makeover. The surface is smooth and pretty, and thus far, anything that I've gotten on it has cleaned right off. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up and share it with a crafty friend. And if you're a new visitor to my channel, please consider subscribing. I hope you visit the Craft Room Diaries again soon. And I hope you're having a happy crafty day.